He lived a life that many would call perfect. A good job, a warm home, steady routines, and the safety of knowing what tomorrow would look like. Every day seemed smooth, predictable, and without chaos. To outsiders, it looked like he had everything one could ever wish for. But deep inside, a silent storm was brewing. Comfort had wrapped him in a soft blanket, but that blanket was slowly suffocating him. Each morning he woke up at the same time, traveled the same road, sat in the same chair, and spoke the same polite words. His life was a circle, spinning endlessly, without a single spark of adventure. At first, he thought this was happiness. After all, isn't this what people dream of? Stability, peace, and security? But over time, something within him began to ache. That ache was not physical, it was the voice of his soul whispering that he was meant for something greater. At night, when the world was quiet, he often asked himself, "Is this it? Is this the life I was born to live?" He had food on the table, yet he hungered for meaning. He had comfort, yet he felt restless. He had safety, yet he longed for risk. The world outside his safe circle seemed vast, filled with challenges, filled with possibilities, but stepping into it demanded courage he was not sure he had. The people around him could not understand. "Why change anything?" they asked. "You have everything you need. Don't throw it away. Don't take unnecessary risks. Just be thankful and stay where you are." Their voices were filled with care, but also with fear. They reminded him that failure was painful, that dreams were dangerous, and that comfort was safer than chasing something uncertain. And for a while, he listened to them. He told himself that maybe they were right. Maybe dreams were only for the brave, and maybe he was not one of them. But the ache inside never left. In fact, it grew stronger with each passing day. He started noticing that the more he chose safety, the smaller he felt. The more he stayed in his comfort zone, the heavier his heart became. He could see people who dared to take risks, who failed but stood back up, who struggled but grew stronger. And he realized that comfort had given him nothing but chains, soft, invisible chains that kept him from running toward his true potential. Then came the breaking point. One evening, as he sat alone, he felt an overwhelming wave of truth wash over him. If he stayed where he was, he would never truly live. His life would remain safe, but it would never shine. His heart would keep beating, but it would never burn with passion. He finally understood that the real danger was not in failing, but in never trying at all. That night, he made a decision that would change everything. He would step away from comfort, away from the walls that protected him but also limited him. He would choose the uncertain road, even if it was filled with pain and struggle. He knew people would call him foolish. He knew fear would try to pull him back. But he was ready to walk into the unknown, because deep inside, he had discovered a truth: the man who never leaves comfort will never discover who he truly is. And with that decision, his real story began. The first step away from comfort was the hardest. He thought courage would feel like fire, but instead it felt like fear. The moment he walked away from the familiar, doubt followed him like a shadow. His friends shook their heads, some even laughed. "You come running back," they said. And for a while, he almost believed them. The road was rougher than he imagined. There were days when he failed so badly that he questioned his own worth. There were nights when tears soaked his pillow, when he wondered if he had made the biggest mistake of his life. But something inside had changed. Every time he fell, he forced himself to rise again. Every setback became a lesson, every failure became a teacher. Slowly, He began to see that discomfort was not an enemy, it was the gym where his spirit trained, the battlefield where his courage was born. The struggles he once feared became the very tools shaping him into someone stronger. He learned that progress was not made in giant leaps but in small, steady steps. Each morning he woke with a new determination. He embraced the pain of hard work, the sting of rejection, and the weight of responsibility. These things no longer scared him, they fueled him. He discovered that the man who dares to walk through fire emerges with a soul that cannot be burned. As the days turned into months, his confidence grew. People who once doubted him began to notice his strength. They saw the fire in his eyes, the resilience in his steps. Some still whispered that he had taken too big a risk, but their voices no longer mattered. For the first time, he was not living for their approval, he was living for his purpose. And then, the victories began to appear. They were not instant, and they were not easy, but they came. The small wins piled up, and the man who once doubted himself became a symbol of perseverance. His journey was not about proving others wrong, it was about proving to himself that he was right to believe in more. The moment of triumph did not come with fireworks or applause. It came quietly, in the realization that he had won. Not just in success, but in self-mastery. He had won against fear, against comfort, against the part of him that wanted to stay safe. He had discovered that real victory is not found in the world's approval, but in the courage to rise every time life tries to break you. His story teaches a powerful truth: comfort may feel safe, but it steals our chance to grow. Struggle may feel painful, but it builds the strength to achieve greatness. Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect path. But he learned that perfection never comes, only the choice to begin. And when you begin, you change. He left comfort behind, and in return, he gained something priceless. He gained resilience, courage, and the joy of becoming who he was meant to be. His victory was not just his own, it was a message to everyone still trapped in comfort. It was proof that fear can be defeated, that dreams can be lived, and that life is too short to stay safe. The man who left comfort behind did not just win success. He won freedom. And in that freedom, he found the meaning of life.